What's up everyone, this is Wasim from the Tech Boys, and I have a battle between the Samsung Galaxy S2 Skyrocket and the Apple iPhone 4S. So this is take 2 of this video, and I'm basically going to do it as fair as possible between these both phones. First we're going to start off with the hardware. So the Galaxy S2 is on the left. It's built by Samsung. Pretty thin for a 4G LTE phone. It's an 8 megapixel camera on the back. 2 megapixel on the front, 4.5 inch Super AMOLED Plus display, so it's a resolution of 480 by 800. It does have a dual core 1.5 gigahertz Snapdragon processor, 1 gigabyte of RAM, 16 gigabytes of internal storage, and expandable with 32. It does have an 1850 milliamp hour battery, available on AT&T, 4G LTE and HSPA+. As for the build, it's all plastic. It is a big phone for some people, but for me it does feel pretty good in the hand. It's nice and light, pretty thin. It doesn't use premium materials like metal or aluminum, but overall it's decent. It's definitely a very light phone, and the display is very bright. With the iPhone 4S, it's a 3.5 inch Retina display, 540 or 640 by 960 pixels, so extremely high resolution display. VGA front facing camera, physical home button. On the back there is a 8 megapixel camera with flash. Full glass and stainless steel around the phone, so don't drop it or else it will shatter for sure. I guess the volume rocker, headphone jack, power button, micro SIM tray is on the right. So the iPhone 4S, you can get it at AT&T, Verizon, or Sprint. Global phone with CDMA and GSM. With the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket, it's GSM only. So like I said, same 8 megapixels on both phones. As you can see, the size difference is pretty noticeable. Just a much bigger phone on the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket. If I put the 4S on top of it, you can definitely see that there is going to be a difference in the pocket. So just depending on your taste, the iPhone 4S can be a little bit small for some people with the screen size. 4.3 inches seems like the new standard for screen size. iPhone 4S is rocking a A5 dual core chip, 512 megabytes of RAM, 16, 32, or 64 internal storage depending on your model. It does come in white and black, and the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket also comes in white and black. And now let's talk about the software. The Galaxy S2 Skyrocket is running Android 2.3.5 Gingerbread. It will be upgraded to Ice Cream Sandwich in the future. What I really love about Android is definitely just like the customize, how you can customize your phone. Just all the different variations of each phone. This one is using Samsung's TouchWiz user interface. So you can definitely put a lot of widgets on here. I have a clock and weather widget, and of course you can also resize widgets, which is pretty nice. So I can make that bigger, and I can see my full forecast. And of course I can easily place more widgets. At the bottom you can see some AT&T preloaded applications and widgets. I can put my AP Mobile, so I can get my news on here. Just like that, and I do have 4G LTE in my area, so just blazing fast speeds. If I pull down the notification tray, you can see quick shortcuts for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, airplane mode, and screen rotation. And if I hold the application drawer, I can see all my applications on here, and I can pinch out and view all my pages. So very nice, and it does come with some Google applications like Sky Map, Gmail, and etc. And with the iPhone 4S running iOS 5.0.1, just extremely easy to use. iOS, anyone can pick it up and start using it. It's just your apps are all on these home screens. You can create folders, Similar notification system on the iPhone. Just pull it down to the weather widget. You can see all your notifications. You can clear them just like on the Galaxy S2. No quick toggles for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, screen rotation. So you're gonna have to. That's just one disadvantage of iPhone. Some of these nice tweaks on the Android platform you can't do on the iPhone without jailbreaking. And multitasking on both operating systems, just double tap on the iPhone, you can see your last open applications and easily go back to them. Your music widget and screen lock is there. To multitask on Android, hold the home button, you can see your open applications, and there is a task manager, so you can easily clear your memory, just like that. So again, definitely a different taste. I am becoming more accustomed to Android just because I'm used to all the widgets and how everything is displayed pretty nicely. iPhone definitely a lot easier to use. It's a more consistent experience. Alright, next I'm going to talk about the browsers. So we're going to go to Safari and the web on both phones. But first off, I want to clear history on both phones just so I could do a few speed tests on the devices. Alright, and I'm going to go on the web. So I'm clearing cache, history, and cookies on both of the phones. Again, for the 4S on AT&T, it runs on HSPA Plus. For Verizon and Sprint, obviously on 3G, and on the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket, it's on LTE. So we're gonna see how much faster LTE is over the HSPA Plus network. So we're gonna go to let's go to CNN. I always go to CNN. Alright, so they're queued up on both. I'm going to press go at the same time. And they're off. So on the Skyrocket is done. The iPhone is almost done. And it's done. So definitely I thought Skyrocket did win that speed test just because it's on LTE. But it's not much faster. So we can scroll down. Both pretty easy to read. And definitely a lot easier on the Skyrocket just because it's a bigger screen. But the iPhone doesn't have the high-res display, so they're both very easy to read and navigate on web pages. And we're going to go to the full site. Alright, the Skyrocket is done and the iPhone 4S is still loading up. And the iPhone 4S is done. So definitely the Skyrocket, if you're on the go a lot, you're not on Wi-Fi, the Skyrocket is definitely going to win. So I'm going to run a speed test, see what the network speeds I'm getting on both phones. So I have speed test and speed test. And just make sure they're on the same server. We're going to go to the Palo Alto server. And begin the test. So we now have two bars of service for each phone. At the Skyrocket, I did get 1701 megabits per second download, 1301 up. For the iPhone 4S, I got 3.26 megabits per second down. And on the upload, not that fast, 0.56, so just extremely faster on the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket. If you're going to be streaming video from Netflix or downloading apps and music, you're going to want to do it on the Skyrocket. It's a lot faster. So now I'm going to move them over to Wi-Fi just to see how the actual performance on the phones. I'm going to connect them to the same Wi-Fi network and do a few other speed tests using Wi-Fi just to see how fast the actual phones are and not on the network. because you're going to be using on Wi-Fi since there is no unlimited plan. So I'm just going to refresh the pages. So I'm going to press go at the same time. Alright. So Skyrocket is finished and the iPhone 4S. So the phones are about the same speed when they're on the same kind of network speed. But on the Skyrocket it is a lot faster when it's on LTE. Alright, next I want to talk about the cameras. They both have 8 megapixel cameras. And we are just going to take a picture of this pig to just do a quick test. Alright, so and on the iPhone, so there we go. I did take the picture on both phones, and we're going to do a quick comparison to see how they look. So right off the bat, it looks like the iPhone 4S's camera is better. The colors come out a little bit better. It's a lot more clear. It looks like it didn't even focus that well on the Skyrocket. And the colors are a bit brighter and more realistic on the 4S. So the 8 megapixel camera on the iPhone 4S is better. I did test video. It's a lot smoother since it does have the image stabilization on the iPhone 4S. On the front cameras, the Galaxy S2 Skyrocket is better. It has a 2 megapixel front camera. The iPhone has a 0.3 VGA camera. So obviously the Skyrocket is going to have a better front camera. Alright, now I want to talk about performance on both phones. Just with the Skyrocket, when I do get LTE, very fast phone. Android has been pretty consistent on the Skyrocket, and it's going to be a lot better when it gets to ice cream sandwich. With Android, obviously, it's going to have a little bit more bumps on the way when you have running applications in the background, but the Skyrocket does a pretty good job. I did get a few hiccups at times, but nothing really to complain about. With the 4S, again, with iOS, it's just extremely fluid. Everything works just like it's supposed to be. I'm not saying that I never had an app crash, but I did have a lot fewer apps crash on my iPhone than the Skyrocket. So both phones are really great phones. There are some things I do like using on the iPhone 4S more than the Skyrocket, like emailing, usually using certain applications since the App Store is a lot better than the Android market. But there is a lot of things I do like using the Skyrocket over the iPhone 4S, like streaming video, or browsing the web, YouTube, Netflix. So again, just both phones have their pros and cons. The iPhone, the pros are definitely like the camera, the App Store, the fluidity of iOS. The screen can be a pro on the iPhone. If you think that the 4.5 inch screen on the Skyrocket is way too big for you and it's not going to fit in your pocket, and the iPhone is going to do a pretty good job. A nice screen size. It can be small for some, but a lot of people do like the high resolution display on the 4S. But with the Skyrocket, a Super AMOLED display is extremely bright. Nice big screen. If you have big fingers, maybe the keyboard might be too small on the iPhone for you, and the Skyrocket might be a lot bigger. iPhone 4S, you do also get Siri, so you can search the web, you can send text messages, do all sorts of things like that. So I'm just going to do a quick demo of the voice capabilities of both phones. We're just going to do a quick weather search. What's the weather for San Mateo?
Here's the forecast for today through this Sunday.
So again, the iPhone 4 is gonna got the forecast for me really easy to use. Let me try doing it on the Google Voice, the Google Voice to Search application. I'm just gonna search the web for weather in San Mateo. Weather in San Mateo. I'm just going to get off Wi-Fi and try again. Weather in San Mateo. So it looks like it's not really okay. There we go. So it just did a Google search. Definitely not as clean as the iPhone, but you can also call people on both voice commands. You can do directions. With the iPhone, you can use natural language. With the Google Voice, you have to do navigation. So I'm gonna try to do them at the same time. Actually, I'll just do it one by one. Navigate to Starbucks. Get me directions to Starbucks.
I found 12 places matching Starbucks. Tap the one you want directions to.
So I can do this.
Here are directions to Starbucks.
And with the Android market, you get a free turn-by-turn navigation, which is really nice. With the iPhone, you don't get that. You kind of have to just get your way through it. So both phones do it pretty nice. So what's the winner? Who's the winner on this? I'm gonna call it a draw because I like using both phones. There are good advantages on the iPhone and there are some disadvantages on the iPhone. There's some advantages on the Skyrocket and there's some disadvantages. Battery life on the Skyrocket is not that great because it's on LTE. At a bigger screen, it just sucks up a lot more juice. Some days I can't even get through a full day. Right now it's 234 and my battery life is on, let's see what the battery life is on right now, 36%. So I'm more than halfway done and it's not even like 5 o'clock yet. The 4S, this is actually my second day on the charge. 43%. I don't use it too much. I don't even use the Skyrocket, but on standby time, a Skyrocket just drains just because it's connected to LTE. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video wasn't as unbiased or biased as the previous one. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. We will have lots of videos coming up in the future, and thanks for watching.